Hello, Hedera community. Welcome again to Earth Week. I'm here today with Isaque Eberhardt from Agryo. Hello, Isaque. How are you?
Hello, Zenobia. Very well, and super happy to share this space with our community.
Yes, thank you for joining us. So I would love for the community to hear just a little bit from you about what is Agryo and what is your mission?
So Agryo is a risk intelligence company which combines data analysis on top of that with modeling plus the trust proofs on Hedera to deliver on the hands of the financial providers their ability to analyze risks on credit, insurance, and trade finance for farmers, be able to finance their production and enable really change on this ecosystem, which some people don't know, but we have 500 million families today which are not accessing credit, insurance, or any financial support for production. We can do much better than that, and the tools are here. That's why we are working in the Hedera ecosystem, and very happy about this progress in the last couple of months and years.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think we are here during Earth Week, and being green or energy efficient means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I would imagine when it comes to agriculture and our food supply chain, that has a much broader meaning. What does that mean to you, and why did you initially see the need to start the company?
Well, this is such a big topic. We always need to remember every single environmental asset on our planet. It's much more closer to the farmer's life than our urban life. So what I mean for that? So farmers always have a space on their farm, which is forest or pristine environment or something which we should protect. And they are the guardians of our nature. So when we talk about efficiency, better supply chains, transparency for access to finance and sales of the products itself, it's a big movement forward on the ecosystem. And there are no way we make everything sustainable if we don't support those farmers to be sustainable on their production. So they need to produce in part of their land. As part of their land, they need to keep protecting and saving our resources, which are our most pristine assets for our future generations. So that's why we start the company, because we're still not seeing so much effort in how to change this perspective of so many farmers underserved. At the same time, we have a growing demand on food and fibers, products for industry in general from the agricultural sector. So if we don't support this improvements in yield and production, we will have more deforestation, and that means more problems on the supply chain side. For example, like we do in trade finance, validating if the production is coming from a good place without any environmental issues. So that's a major change for the ecosystem, and that's why we are glad to drop our jobs and say, okay, let's solve this problem, since nobody is really paying attention on that.
And how do you educate the farmer? How do you communicate to them the importance of leveraging a platform like yours?
Well, most of the time what's happening is the farmers are asking for simple things like financial access for their production. And most of the time we work with the financial provider, let's say a cooperative, a small bank, or a regional bank, or insurance company, to help them to leverage our technology and then educate the farmers. So it's a kind of helping the ecosystem to be better in manage risk, understand what can happen on the field, on the real world assets, and with that be able to prove the protection pays back, like things like I said in the trade finance, because we will be able to access gateways to sell your products, or protection per se as a carbon credits, for example, we have on our platform too. So to help the financial institutions to provide compensation for services in the farmer side. So basically the flow to distribute, because we have a massive challenge, is it's easier to help the people on the field. So the companies, the insurance companies, the banks, they have, with that, they have a better infrastructure and they can deal with more people. Otherwise, we will not solve. We need to do 10x improvements in finance for the ecosystem. It's a lot of effort to be done. So we need to support the people which is in the regions, in the local place, in the local productions region, to do better job on the onboarding process and the management of everything. And this is pretty much how we can stop the problems on environmental side of the agriculture space. Otherwise, we will still have this bad news on deforestation fires and so on. So we need to support these people to do improvements in their lives and in the production side.
And this has been, an ongoing problem, right? This is not something that's new. And why is distributed ledger technology a game changer here? And, in particular, of course, we always ask the question, why Hedera, right? This has been a problem that has needed a solution for a long time.
Yeah, in fact, this is the most needed piece for a fragmented ecosystem. Because always remember, when you travel in your country, independent if it's in Asia, South America, or North America, or Europe, you will pass for a hold and you will see different homes around the countryside. And so that's the figure of agriculture. So you have people spread on space, on geographical space, which are linked to different companies, different insurance companies, banks, or most of them are not linked yet. And nobody really trusts anybody on this space. So if you don't build trust inside of the ecosystem, always the easy answer to say, okay, I don't know this farmer, he's not close to my branch bank, let's say no for that. That's happening on for the last. I have been living my entire life on this place. My family has a small farm, and to finance a tractor, we need to put 3 people as guarantees plus the land. It's a tractor of $20,000. So it's too much for the ecosystem which produces our food. So, but it's basically a problem of misalignment between how you see the risks, how you perceive how you understand risks on the credit or insurance, depending on the type of contract, and how you underwrite that risk and how you prove everything. So DLT, it's a key point to distribute information for everybody. Everybody can trust itself, the data itself, and be able to say, okay, this like we do for them. Last 21 years history of the farmer. So any place on earth. Basically, you can say, okay, this place has 17 crop seasons, which are good, one was not so good. They lost 2 years. So I understand the risks intrinsic to that contract. And in the case of Hedera, one of the big changes is speed, cost, and efficiency for this type of transaction. If we want to make massive changes, you will have a lot of small contracts inside of the process for the farmer side. So if the contract is small, you cannot spend too much on costs of transaction in the data transaction costs. So validation of data, submission of requests, and so on. And realistic today, Hedera is the most advanced platform for that. And so in terms of potential, we just saw 1 billion transactions on the network, and this is growing like hell. So it's amazing technology. And this will enable a new set of infrastructure for this ecosystem, which most people don't realize it yet, but it's unbelievable powerful for this type of people which are spread on space, have different incentives, they don't know each other, the bank don't know the farmer don't know the insurance company. So if you don't build trust inside of the ecosystem, we cannot solve this massive challenge. So this, in our perception, is the only way to solve, and very happy to have infrastructure and a partner like Hedera on the ecosystem.
Yeah, it sounds like you're building, computational trust between parties that, you know, back in the day, maybe you were able to go visit the farm and do some of those things. But, you know, now if you can build that computational trust, you can make it easier to get to yes and have that default be, you know, more of a, you know, they are a good credit risk. They can demonstrate sort of the value of everything they've done.
Yeah, exactly. And just a last note on that, and this unlock other potentialities. So you can, farmers can find ways to sell, and they can prove they have crops, how much they have, what's the quality of the production, if they have no deforestation like we do. So trust in an ecosystem which nobody knows each other, and everyone's far from the city, sometimes 500 kilometers, 300 kilometers. It's an unbelievable key to unlock power and prosperity.
That's fantastic. And Isaque, you know, we have a number of folks who are coming onto the platform and being introduced to the platform every day. As you go through your journey of building on Hedera, can you share any lessons learned or discoveries that you have made along the way?
Well, at the beginning, we are always happy about the opportunities and skeptical about it. It's really that good. And we could learn it's much better than we even expect in terms of easy to develop, for example. You know, in a startup game, sometimes you have 5 people in the team, 2 are playing the executive level, outside world, process, sales, and everything. 3 are doing development. You don't have too much resource in the beginning, so you don't have time to lose. So all this type of pieces are quite clear in the Hedera infrastructure. So you can go through the very simple things like the documentation process, how to build API calls in HCS, for example, in the consensus service, or how to use the smart contracts, anything on that. It's pretty much straightforward, and we have been trying some other platforms, and sometimes it's not exactly like that. Yeah, people should improve their standards. But anyway, and another point is how easy it is to get in contact with the people inside of the engineering team, for example. So that's pretty impressive. So we could have solving some issues, some doubts about how we could handle some of the approach of the service in a kind of one-day process. So send an email, get back and get in a call and move forward. It's pretty important especially for the startups, which are always in a edge situation and sometimes doing an edge service. So you always will find something you need to discover how to solve, and being able to have people who can help on that, it's pretty important. So there are more big pieces on the surprises on the ecosystem, and always this alignment between what Mansi and Lehman, Dr. Lehman state in the beginning. I have been following this concept from concept to a product on the market, and they keep aligned with that vision, and to be a source of fairness for us. It's pretty heavy, this word of fairness on this our particular ecosystem of agriculture. So that's pretty important for us too. It's always good to have people who is still dreaming about the better future, so, and working to do that. So that's an important piece for us too.
Great. Yes, I will say it is a team of dreamers and doers. So I'm glad to hear that the experience is going well. And we look forward to keeping up with you as you continue on this journey. Isaque, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And we look forward to hearing more great things out of you and the team.
You all will listen some very amazing news from the ecosystem of Hedera and Agryo operating different continents very soon. Thanks so much for the opportunity again. And for everybody who's looking for a way to build a reliable service for changing society, we need to build more trust between our peers. Always take a look in more deep details on the Hedera ecosystem. Thanks so much, everybody. Stay safe. working on this better future for us.